Hello everyone, my name is Otavio and this is the Galilean Library, and today I'm here with my book haul for the books that I've acquired in the past month, sorta, in January. And when the year begun, I told myself I will cut down on the book buying for a little bit, and it will become very evident that I did not do that. For today, let's just enjoy this book haul, like taking one day at a time sort of thing. Maybe I'll have like a library book haul next time or something like that. Anyway, let's get started. So the majority of these books I got from bookstores around the city. Some of them are from the Strand, others are from Postman Books, which is a bookstore near my workplace, and a few, not many, I think like just a couple I got from Amazon. The first thing I have is When Breath Becomes Air by Paul Kalanithi, and this is a non-fiction book. It's a memoir written by this doctor who found out he had terminal cancer. He was a neurosurgeon, and this is basically his reflections on our mortality and how a person who's confronted with their mortality in such an abrupt way, in such a strong way like he was, has all these other perspectives about life. And I think this is going to be a very, very interesting book to read, and I am fairly scared that I will be crying all the way through. And yes, I am looking forward to this one. Next I have William Shakespeare's Star Wars by Ian Doescher, and I love Star Wars, and I don't have as much of a knowledge of Shakespeare as I would like to, but I have seen a few Shakespeare plays, really enjoyed them, and I can totally see how Star Wars would fit perfectly with the mood of a Shakespearean play. So yes, this is an actual play. It's written as a play with the character marks, and there's some really cool illustrations as well. I'm really interested to read this. I wonder if I should read actual Shakespeare before I read this. Probably yes. What Shakespeare play would you recommend me to read? I am interested. So yeah, leave your favorite Shakespearean play in the comments below, because I would love to read some of those before I get into this. I think it's only fair, right? Next I have a bind up, Worlds of Exile and Illusion by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I got this actually I think yesterday at the bookstore near my workplace because Elizabeth from Books and Pieces recommended me to read Planet of Exile for the winter, and I'll show you guys. It's pretty wintry here right now. I don't know if you can see that outside. It's very snowy, very crazy white, and yes, really cold. So I was asking for recommendations of good books to read in this sort of weather, and Planet of Exile was one of those recommendations by Elizabeth, and I am really looking forward to it. I actually placed a hold on the audiobook at my library, but there's a bunch of other people ahead of me, strangely, and yes, I just saw it at my bookstore that they had the bind up of 3 of Le Guin's books. Actually, her first 3 books. Planet of Exile is book number 2. I also have City of Illusions and Rockanon's World. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. Yes, so these are all novels set in the Hainish Cycle universe, and they are the 3 first novels in that universe. I don't think it's chronologically the 3 first, but they are the ones in publication order. And yes, I'll be reading this probably really soon. Next I have Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman, and this is a short story collection that he published last year. I think they are tied together with a common theme. At least that's what I believe. At least that's what I think. I'm not sure if that's actually the case. But yes, I'm really interested in reading this. I love Neil Gaiman, and yes, more of his short stories will definitely be welcome. I've also purchased The Snow Queen by Joan D. Vinch. This is a science fiction classic. I think it won the Hugo Awards in 1980, if I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I also do not know much about this one, but it's one of those science fiction classics that I've heard so many good things about, and it's a classic for a reason, so I really, really, really want to pick it up. And let me just say that this cover is really gorgeous. Yes. Next I have Barsk, the Elephant's Graveyard by Lawrence M. Schoen. So another gorgeous cover. I think this is probably one of the most beautiful covers that I've seen in recent memory. I really, really love it. It's set far in the future in a universe in which humanity has uplifted several other mammalian species from Earth into a sapient status. So there are all of these societies in several different planets in the world that are based on sapient Earth species. We have several different mammal species that are sapient and have their own cultures and civilizations. So as the title suggests, we are focusing on a specific civilization, the elephant civilization, and I think it's also about how elephants that are sapient in this universe have become sort of pariahs because of the way they look and because of their skin and because of the way they live. Should be really, really interesting. I am really looking forward to this one as well. I also have another Le Guin, the Dispossessed, and this is, I think whenever you talk about Le Guin, you either hear about the Earthsea trilogy or Left Hand of Darkness. Most of the time you will hear about the Left Hand of Darkness, and you will also hear about the Dispossessed, I think. And this is that one. And this is the Masterworks, the SF Masterwork edition, and I really love these. I want to buy more of these republished versions of science fiction classics. And yes, really looking forward to this one as well. It's also set in the Hainish Cycle universe, so yes, really, really, really looking forward to it. And I think there's a common theme. I bought a lot of science fiction classics, so yes. Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. Never read it, don't know much about it. It's just like, one of those classics that you hear so much about, like in terms of like the name and praise for it and not necessarily the story. So I don't really know what it's about, and I am going to find that out when I read it, won't I? And now to break the science fiction cycle, I have Bookhaul by Hilary Mantel. This is a historical fiction novel set around the intrigue in the British court surrounding Henry VIII, I think. Yes, Henry VIII. And it's basically surrounding the, well, there's probably more to it than that, but from what I hear, it's about the succession line and how all of the politics and all of the conspiracy and like the society surrounding the court, how all of that plays a part in the succession to the throne of England. And yes, I'm really, really looking forward to this one. I know it was adapted into a miniseries, I think for the BBC, I'm not entirely sure. And it has also been adapted into a Broadway play, which has since left Broadway, but I hear there are plans to put it up again once the third book, because this is going to be a trilogy, I think. Once the third book is out, they will mount the play again with the last portion. So the first book, Bookhaul, and the second book, I think, To Bring Up the Bodies, I think. I'm not entirely certain. Both have been adapted into the play, and the third book is forthcoming, so there is that interest into adapting the third one as well and mounting the play again, which will be super, super interesting and extremely long, because if I believe the two books, the play was called Bookhaul Part 1 and Part 2, and I think it was about 4 or 5 hours long, something like that. It was really, really long. So yeah, I don't know how the third part would work, but I'm sure they will want to do that sometime in the future. Anyway, really, really looking forward to this one, though it seems like a book that will take me quite a while to read, so I don't know exactly when I will start, but I can tell you that once I start it, it will take me a long time to finish. So you're probably not going to see this around my channel for a while until I actually get through it. Yes. So that was it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, click subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Ciao!